Wait until everything is rolling. I see the wheels are spinning, things are turning. Hi. Hey, cheers. I'm Sandra Funk, and this is Design Sips. Welcome. So we're back. We're just going to keep showing up right here in your little live stream, and we're going to give you tons and tons of info, tips, tricks, all the things, because we really want to give you the business side of interior design. As much as we know, we want to bring it to you and share it. So that's what we're doing today. So let me know if you can share in the comments where you are joining us from. I'd love to see where you're hiding out and what's going on. All right, so everyone, please let me know where are you watching from, and I'm going to show you what we're doing. All right, hold up. Technical difficulties. You know how this goes. 1, 2, 3, people. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Design Sips. I'm Sandra Funk. I am going to just do my intro twice every week, forever, until we get it right. That's okay, right? Okay, so thank you to those of you who've been putting up with me on Facebook and YouTube, because we were streaming and chatting, and now we're doing it again. Okay, anyway, I'm Sandra Funk. This is Design Sips. Cheers to you, designers. We're going to talk about the business of interior design while we have a little afternoon wine. What's wrong with that? Cheers. Hi guys, what's going on? Okay, so tell me, I want to know where you're watching from. And if you can write that to me in the comments, I would love that. And I'm going to show you what I'm drinking. I've got a little Sonoma Cutrer Chardonnay. Yummy, buttery. It's perfect for like random day drinking and talking about business. Yeah? All right. Hi guys, what's going on? So grab your glass, be it tea, coffee, I don't know where you are in the world and what time it is where you are, but let's tuck in and talk about identifying our ideal client. Okay, that's really going to be the big chit chat for today. So if you are not, I love all those hearts. Hi guys. If you are not getting phone calls and inquiries from the perfect ideal client, then we're going to talk about how to up your game and get those incredible ideal, what I love to call kind whales, speed dialing you. Okay. So also, if you haven't heard yet, we have a free Facebook group. You just have to let us know that you're a designer to hop on in there. And in that Facebook group, we are doing monthly challenges. We kicked it off right in early January, and it was less about thin little intentions and goals that go by the wayside very quickly, and instead all about long-term big kind of goals where we can really make a big difference in our businesses and we can hold each other accountable. So we are on our 3rd challenge already, and everyone is going so strong. We are going to keep this going all year long. And by the time this 12 months is done, 12 challenges, you should be coming out of this looking like a shiny, beautiful, brand new, spanking, incredible, leveled up business. So check us out. Sarah is going to comment the Facebook group link in the comments so you can kind of see where to find us. January was all about like finding something in your business that needed to be organized, streamlined, curated, cleaned up, and tackling it, and then prove it, in social proof, showing us. February was all about hiring, kind of doing some introspective on what you need and what you want to delegate in order to hire like awesome, incredible unicorns that can catapult your business forward. And then this month, we're talking about marketing. So this month, we're doing a social media challenge. We put together an entire month, every day of the week, kind of a template of what to post. We hear so often from our community that I know I got to get on social, but I just don't know what to post. So we created a template where all of what to post is there for you. All you need to do is post it, tag it with the March challenge, and therefore we can all start to like it and share it and support one another in the challenge. So jump in there if you're not in there already. It's awesome. Okay, so today, like I said, we are going to be focused on our ideal client. So figuring out who they are and then making sure that we're speaking directly to them in all of our branding and all of our marketing so that that is the person that sees themselves, right? You know those brands that stop you in your tracks? You're scrolling on by or you're clicking on through your email inbox or wherever you hang out, and you realize that something just stops you because they are literally solving a problem that you didn't even know you had yet, or maybe it's a problem you know you have, right? But they are speaking directly to you. They get you and they have solutions for you. This is what we are going to show you that you can be doing so that when your ideal client scrolls on past you in some way, shape, or form, they stop in their tracks because they can see what a good fit you're going to be and how much you can help them with their business. So it's all about speaking to the right person. So first, let me tell you how identifying my ideal client has changed my business for the better. So when I took the time to really do this exercise and sit down and get the blank sheet of paper in front of me, and you guys know how much I hate a blank sheet of paper, but when I finally did it, I am telling you, we went through then my website, my social media, my branding, even the colors that we use in our website, and everything got refined. Everything got like idealized for this avatar. We created an avatar essentially. Instead of trying to keep all the traits and preferences of an ideal client bio in my head, we create like this one person who is just our ideal perfect client. And in my head, I'm always speaking to that client when I'm writing copy, editing copy, all the things, right? It's awesome. Okay, so it's so important to figure out who you want to work with. So once I determined who my ideal client was, my marketing shifted. And then once my marketing shifted, right, and I'm speaking to this person that I want to work with more, then my company shifted because now those are the calls I'm getting. It's really very direct. So my clientele shifted and then the company shifts. So finally, I'm working with my ideal client. I'm getting the projects with the kind of people that I want to work with, right? So we'll talk more about how I can help you do that too. So, but by the way, Design Sips is obviously for designers talking about the business side of interior design, but I just want to give a little, hey, how you doing to all the clients out there, past clients, future clients, and current clients, because you really make this my dream job. And if we are currently working together, that means that you are my ideal client. We're super careful with who we take on. And I can honestly say we are because of this, it used to be, we have some good ones, we have some tough ones. We are in such a good place. We just have nothing but love in the design side of the business right now and are just having a blast working with you. So nice to see you here. All right, tell me in the clients, okay, back to all you designers, tell me in the clients, have you identified your ideal client? Do you know when you're speaking to social media, when you're speaking, when you're writing a blog post, when you're editing copy for your website, do you know exactly who you're speaking to so that you can make sure that that positioning is just so? You want to think back to when you wrote your first resume, right? If you were going for a position that was super brainy and super heads down working at your desk and super cerebral, you wrote your resume with all those accolades and all focused on your GPA and all focused on how smart you are, right? And like what a little analytical focused human you can be. If you were going for a job that was in sales where you were networking, you were going to have to get out of that desk and you were going to have to get out there in the world and you were going to have to make connections and put people together and be a connector. Well, you wrote your resume extremely differently, right? You talked about all the clubs you joined. You talked about all the places you've traveled, all the people you know, all the clubs you joined. So same thing. We are who we are, but we're going to package it up and make it beautiful and present it with a bow on top to our ideal client so that they find us easier. You're just clearing a path to your door to make it easier for you and your ideal client to find one another. That's all we're doing here. So let's dive into the questions that I've received from our community about ideal clients and marketing to them. So what questions should I ask myself that help determine my ideal client? So these are key. These are so important to make sure that you are to figure this out, essentially. We actually chatted in the Facebook group earlier today about Like, what do you think of when you think of ideal client? And a lot of our conversation in the Facebook group was around work style and parameters. So it was a lot of it was around trust. It was around like letting us do our job, letting us have the creativity to complete a job, right? Not feeling micromanaged, all of those things. So those things are definitely a personality style that you're looking for, but they're also more about business structure and kind of being really clear about how you work and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable and standing in your space. On the flip side, there's some personality stuff in there that we can absolutely combine with the ideal client avatar, but there's so much more. So let's go through it. So things to ask yourself to help you figure out who they are. Who are your favorite clients so far and why? So go through all the clients you've had in the past, right? And think about who did you enjoy working with absolutely the most? And then why was it so fun for you? Why did that have something extra, right? Did they have incredible taste and style that you were able to like elevate and bring to life? Were they just a fun person? Do you really want to enjoy the relationship between you and the client? Were they super appreciative and respectful and too busy to get muddled into your details and happy to have you take it and run? That is a score all the way. It's different for everyone, right? So figure out what exactly made your favorite client the best and write that down. Start to manifest this over and over and over again. So which projects were the most profitable? You know, this is not a hobby. So it can't just be the fun ones. It's also got to be the profitable ones. And for us, when we go and look at our ideal client avatar, we know that our profitable clients have a minimum size job, right? So we know we like to do 3 rooms at a time. We like to be at a house value that can handle having a big design project go into it. Yada, 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 right? Those metrics come from us analyzing our data and looking at what were our most profitable engagements. So that's extremely important. We are talking about the business side, not just the fun. So where does your ideal client live? Do you love out of town jobs? Do you like second homes? Are you a vacation area person? Do you like to be right in your 40-minute radius so that you are just rocking jobs day in and day out and you're zooming from job site to job site to job site? You really need to think about what worked best, why, how, and zone in on that. Now, another thing with an ideal client, you might put an ideal client into a neighborhood that you aspire to get to. Absolutely. Now you're speaking directly to a person and you could identify where that person lives. So you can start to talk about the boutique they might walk by or the patisserie that they pop into to pick up fresh bread or the florist that they know and love on the corner. Think about where and who and how, all the things. Okay. Do I forget to drink? Design Sips is supposed to be about sipping and talking, right? People, who's got me? Cheers. Okay. How does your ideal client spend their time? This might seem like, why does it matter? It is so important. So if your ideal client spends all of their time working and then rushing home, long commute, the house is full of kids, they might need you to take it and run for them, right? If your ideal client is a big philanthropist and they're a big entertainer and the house is always full of friends and family, this is a different kind of approach. They have the time. They want your expertise. You're speaking a different kind of discussion, right, with them than you are with someone who doesn't have the time. This person who doesn't have the time might have the talent, might be an incredible creative genius, but this is just not their job. They've got their plate full. So you're speaking to 2 different kind of clients with those 2 different profiles I just gave you, and you need to write copy differently. You need to have all of it set up differently in that case. How do they spend their time? Again, working, reading, shopping, horseback riding, philanthropy, working their booties off. What is it to you? Let's identify it and let's speak directly to it. Okay. So are they always outsourcing to an expert or do they love DIY? Now, some interior designers offer a lot of like pre-packaged, quite palatable, easy to consume, do it yourself online design. So that is great. Now that's who you're going to speak to. That's who you're going to market to. And that's who is going to resonate with you. And maybe they're going to buy like a room recipe where they get the paint colors and, a aesthetic direction and some great shoppable links, right? Totally cool. Then that's who you're speaking to. If your ideal client is luxury all the way, hand you the keys, hand you a big old check, and you do it, go girl, then sharing your DIY projects and sharing those little things might not be speaking to your ideal client, right? Okay, so most important, what are your ideal clients afraid of? What keeps them up at night? So I'm going to go back to those two profiles I outlined, right? The profile number 1, super crazy busy, double income working family, long commute, kids at home. What they fear is that they're not going to have the time to create a wonderful and welcoming family home because their careers are on fire and they're in the thick of it. And they've got these children who need to create memories and have a sense of place and have an understanding of this beautiful home that their parents created for them and raised them in. They want a home that they're not embarrassed to have friends and family over to, so that they can create memories and enjoy their home on the weekends when they're done with that crazy week, right? A lot of times that really busy working family is all about making sure that the children are settled and that the home feels really comfortable and welcoming. And it's their refuge at the end of a crazy long work week. All right. Now, the other profile, the philanthropist, the person who is entertaining all the time, they have a very different fear, right? Their fear is that their home isn't going to live up to their social circle, that they are in this, they do these, they go from house to house and they're having dinner parties and they're going to host the great big fundraiser this year. And their home needs to be reflective of their style. It needs to be elegant if elegant is their thing. It needs to be laid back if laid back is their thing. Whatever it is, it needs to reflect them very, very well. It needs to be unique. It cannot look like the catalog down the street. It can't look like every other house. It has to be special. The art on the wall has to be meaningful, probably real, right? We're in a potentially different level. We're talking about a home that works for caterers and, coat rooms and that kind of thing. So we're speaking to different ideal clients in this case, as you can see. So if your marketing and your branding and your voice is all talking about, you've got to create this beautiful home, let me take this off your hands, that's one client. A different one is, we're going to elevate this. We're going to create a sense of place. We're going to bring out your personality and reflect it in a completely bespoke home. That's a different client. So just think about your marketing and think about getting laser focused. All right. Please drop me some questions, you guys. I'd love to answer your questions about finding your ideal client avatar. All right. So we have another question came in. I'm nervous to niche and work with a certain type of person. Aren't I limiting myself? So we hear this all the time. And the truth is, there are going to be clients that come in outside of your ideal client avatar that might just like your aesthetic, like your brand, your person, whatever. And they're going to bust on through the profile and they're going to reach out to you. And you might decide to take them on. You might decide that I ideally work with this kind of person, but I'm thrilled to take on another kind of person as long as there are no red flags, right? There's no big, hairy, audacious scariness going on, like all the, the red flags. That's a whole other conversation. I'm sure we've had it and we'll have it again. But really, when you're speaking, when you keep yourself really broad and open, you're actually talking to no one, right? So because when it's all about that scroll. When somebody's scrolling by, if you're talking to everybody, you're not catching any one person's attention. You're just another pretty room. Now, if you are going to identify that ideal client avatar and you're speaking directly to them and you're solving the problems that they actually have in your copy, in your marketing, in your video, whatever, in all of what you're saying, you're going to catch their attention. And you might catch the attention of others, but you're not going to you're not going to get anybody if you're just kind of being, vanilla. I'll do whatever room you want. I'll do it however you want. I'm just available. That's kind of like Pottery Barn, right, guys? I mean, I don't want to diminish anyone, but you can take that slip-covered sofa, and you see them do it every single season. They style it all up with new pillows and new florals and a new scent of candle, and that whole Pottery Barn looks like it's a new place, and it's not. It's just dressed up fresh, right? Well, again, you want to be more specific, more bespoke, more custom, right? Our industry is about that customization. Anyone can go out and buy a sofa and a coffee table and make their room functional. They are hiring an interior designer because they want their soul to be reflected in their home. They really need help getting their vision out of their head, or maybe they don't even have a vision. They just might need to get their personality and their aesthetic interests pulled out of them. They need help with that, and they need it brought into their home. Okay, that's a big difference between someone who just needs a functional space and someone who hires an interior designer. So don't gloss over that, and don't make yourself just a furniture salesman. You do so much more than that. Okay, we have a question. Kristen asks, what programs do you use to build your client avatar? So programs, I would say it's really an introspective process. Really, piece of paper and a pencil is how we do it. Okay, I'm going. Is there more to the story, Sarah? She's messaging me. No, that's it. Piece of paper and a pencil, and getting introspective. Going inside and really looking at what project lights you up. Where do you want to be spending more time? Like, look, we do this all the time inside the standard. Go to your past data. Go back to all the jobs you've done so far. Go back to all the data you've collected. Where do you want to be spending more time? And then focus in on that, and then refine it until you are speaking right to that kind of client over and over and over again, and have them come right on in. Okay. Another question. Here we go. Wait, I'm supposed to have a drink in between. Cheers, y'all, if you're having a cocktail with me. Okay, what's at risk when I don't talk to my ideal client? So one of my favorite mentors, MoFlo, Marie Forleo, always says, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And she does it with a Jersey accent, which, I spent a lot of time in Jersey. In any case, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So if you're not talking to your ideal client, you're probably not getting the right phone calls. You're probably not getting the right inquiries. You might be saying, I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of people reaching out, but I don't seem to be getting the right clients in the door. Look to your ideal client avatar. Go deep with this. Really try to figure out, what do they read? Where do they like to go for a walk? Do they have a dog? How many children do they have? Do they like their husband? Where do they shop for clothes? What kind of restaurants do they eat at? Like, you want to get inside their head at a level. And this ideal client avatar might be someone a lot like you, and it might not be. So a lot of times, I think without realizing it, we speak to someone who's in the same phase of life that we are in, can afford the same kind of things. But one of the big questions that I have for you is, do you want to work with clients that can afford what you can afford, or do you want to work with clients that can afford the dream, like a whole lot more? And I'm not saying that you can't afford the dream too. I'm just saying we often are speaking to someone a lot like ourselves, and I'm challenging you here to think about, could you go outside of just what you know and what you feel and how you think about your home and put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? Could you take it up a notch or across or different? I know a good friend of mine was doing bachelor pads, and it was an incredible niche. And again, it was a decision. It was a decision that came from having a couple of bachelor clients and realizing they were decisive. They didn't want to get into the details. They didn't have time to be micromanaging. They often had nice budgets, and they stayed out of the way and let her do the work. So, hello. Okay, and that friend is Taylor Spellman, and if you haven't seen her show, you need to go watch it. Done in a week. It's for sale in a week. Anyway, maybe we'll Google that and add it to the comments. It is so interesting. Those people that niched and that got really specific have had so much more success because they are speaking really clearly to one person. It's so incredibly cool. All right, y'all, if somebody hasn't commented yet, please Google Taylor Spellman and watch her show. She's incredible. Okay, Happy Homes asks, so the best and most enjoyable projects turn out to be involving art. I'd love to niche down and into art forward interior design. Cool. What do you think? Is that along the lines of what you're talking about? Absolutely. You have it. Like that is it. And so you want to become the interior designer that you go to if you are also interested in curating original art or whatever your art is that you love. So how amazing is that? So say I'm an art collector, or I want to get into collecting art, or I'm not sure how to marry my art with my furnishings, or I've been traveling and I've been collecting art and it's all leaning in a closet upstairs because I have no idea what to do with it and how to put it together. All of a sudden, I can think of a billion things that you could say to an ideal client who likes art. All of a sudden, you have a platform, you have a topic, you have clarity of message. Run with that. Run with that right now. That is so awesome. I love that. Oh my God, forget it. Forget all what I just said. You can reach out to the galleries. You can reach out to the framers. You can pair with a local gallery and do a wine night. You can say, I'll bring all the wine and the appetizers. Let me come co-host it with you. And I'm going to meet your patrons. I'm going to meet everyone who's on your list. Like, you have this incredible niche. We just created it for you on Design Sips. Cheers to you. Who else has got something? Let's go. Brainstorm now. Let's go. Okay. Breathe, Sandra. Drink wine and breathe. Nisha. Hi, Nisha. Oh, I love Nisha. Okay. I'm looking for empty nesters who hangs out golfing, busy professional, or business owner doctor. Okay, Nisha, I'm going to tell you right now. Wait, I'm confused because I'm reading comments while I'm reading questions, and I have to stop doing that. I need to figure out how to make them go away so I can't see them. Nisha, I think you have too many people in your ideal client avatar. Okay, your empty nester hangs out golfing. Those can be the same person. Busy professional or business owner doctor. Okay, so here's the thing, Nisha. I think you got to pick. You have to make, for your marketing to get like crazy laser focused and spot on, razor sharp, you need to pick one. So is it an empty nester golfer? Hangs out golfing is not the same as busy professional, is not the same as business owner. I know, I'm a business owner. We do not hang out golfing. And doctor. So I would say, now there's nothing wrong with having multiple ideal client avatars. Nothing at all. But I would say you're talking to a big old room of rich people and you need to cull it in. You need to get real specific. Which one of those lights you up the most? Start there. Develop social media content. Develop words in your FAQs. FAQs are an amazing place to clarify if this, am I right for you? And to kind of paint a picture of who they are and let them see if they fit it or not. But I think if you can close that in, narrow it down, and get more specific, you will have more success finding them. Because right now, there's not one person in there. There's like a whole tribe of humans. So let's get more specific, and it will help. And it doesn't mean that the doctor won't show up if the golfer is who you end up going with. It just means that you're getting real specific and you're getting out in front of more of those ideal people. Once you have one up and running and really well, oiled machine and go, you can build out another ideal client avatar and have multiple streams of avatars. Okay. Another question. I forget to drink wine. Did you guys see I have a Design Sips class? I just want to point that out. And lipstick stains. Okay. Where should I speak to my ideal client? I've kind of been rambling about this the whole time, but I'll say it again. Social media in your content, right? Newsletters, if you do email newsletters, which I highly recommend doing to stay in your potential client's inbox. Blog posts, SEO keyword blog posts, if you don't know, I love them. They're like missile strikes. We go out and we answer the questions that our ideal clients are asking. That's the other thing. If you get crazy clarity about who you're talking to, you can start to answer the questions that they probably have, because you're really you're internalizing who this person is, and you're getting to know them because they are your clients. You can answer their questions with these blog posts. And then your FAQs, again, great place to get like down and dirty with a lot of content, and have them be a list that they can click on and they can expand, so that it's a great place to put a lot of content without your website or your blog posts or your social media looking really wordy. I'm a huge FAQ fan. Initial call script. Initial call script. So in your initial call with your client, you can also do some positioning questions and ask a lot of questions that help you identify if you are speaking with your ideal client. And you also can really point out, anyway, I have the whole script for you. It's here, houseoffunk.com/initial call talking points. And if I know Sarah Harris, she's going to be commenting it in the comments. Okay, so Karine asks, can you give examples on how to speak to ideal audience on website versus Instagram? How should that language change? Okay, so on your website, for instance, we've done a million sites, right? Nicole Heimer, I just saw her breeze through here for a minute, does our branding and website. And we have gone through iterations. We evolve, right? So I definitely was in the phase of speaking to someone just like me for a long time. And we made a decision that we wanted to kind of level up. We wanted to go after that philanthropic homeowner who has charity events and who entertains all the time. And they might have children and a big job as well, but we were really kind of going after that next echelon. And so what we did with our website was we took back, we rolled back anything that was really very, very young or very, very bright, and we kind of went for more of the elegant things. We took our copy down and really started speaking, just more clean and refined. We even edited the colors that we were using on our website for them to be, again, more elegant, more refined, kind of more reflective of the last couple of projects that we've done, where they were really just up 3 notches and just so spectacular. So we have, on Instagram, same thing, same concept. We're going to be talking about having just a voice and a take, and the same thing I talked about with the resume, right? You're going to like package yourself one way for one job and another way for another job. You're going to just highlight your strengths that are more fitting to your ideal client. So across the board, you're going to bring it to whatever medium you're in. And that's the same thing with everything. Newsletter, blog posts, social media, website, FAQs. Like if you make a change, it's all the way through, because everything needs to be completely consistent for you to have that brand pulled together. All right. Okay. Celine asks, what do you think of having 2 different types of avatars? So I'm okay with 2 avatars, but I would fully, completely develop one with 100% clarity. Go to the soul level with it, work it all out, figure them out, take it to the mat, get all the messaging right, and then you can layer in another one. The other one that you're layering in, it needs to be at the similar, like you need to have like a similar price point, similar model of the world, similar value system. But like we said, it could be a retiree who's golfing a lot and a doctor. Like, that can work because maybe they are golfing together. So yeah, but start with one, get really clear and really good at that, and then you can layer in more. Okay, next question. Cheers. Who's drinking with me? Is anyone out there having a glass of wine? It feels weird alone, design tips, but there was a pandemic. What are you going to do? All right, guys, I'm not alone. You're all here with me, right? I'm just sitting in a room alone drinking. This thing's got weird. Okay, how do you use your website strategically to market to your ideal client? So the portfolio on our website is very, very curated. So it's not every single thing we've ever done. It's the things that we want to do again. Let me say that one more time. My website features not showing off the breadth of my abilities. I'm not showing off how I made this one basement. Like, incredible from the dregs that it was, because frankly, I like doing a basement. I'm happy to do a basement when we're doing the whole house, but I'm not trying to go out and get hired to do a basement, right? So my website is going to show homes that have multiple rooms, right? Not just one room per house, because I don't take on clients for less than multiple rooms. It's also going to show a room that is fully tricked out, like we talked about earlier. Art on the wall, the pillows are custom, the flowers are there, the candles are lit, the art is up. Like, we are talking done to the nines. It's, for me, I don't want to do the room unless I'm doing the whole thing. And so that's what I'm going to show on my website, the full Monty, right? And then, of course, aesthetically, I'm going to put out the jobs that I want more of. I'm not going to put out the jobs that I did, that weren't really my aesthetic, that I really didn't, was like square peg round hole kind of stuff. I'm going to put out the stuff that jives, that fits, that makes me so happy. So let's do it. All right. Sip question. What's an example of speaking to the wrong audience? Okay, we talked about this, and I'm guilty of it. Like, I literally am guilty of it. If you're reaching out to that luxury audience, sharing DIY projects probably isn't the right move. And I've been known to like refinish a table in my spare time and show progress shots, because I'm also showing my personality. And I'm also showing, like, I actually do like to refinish furniture, but the truth is, it's not ideal. That's not who my ideal client is. Not a DIYer. They're not going to get inspired and refinish their table. So it's, there's always that line of like showing your personality, showing that you really do like furniture so much that you refinish your own, and speaking to your ideal client. So you have to watch that line. And it's so important. Like, even in saying this, I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. Just content for the sake of content is useless. We used to, back in, 2007, we used to just post anything to be out there, to be present, to showing up. Back then was enough, because there weren't a lot of us on the internet doing it, right? Any blog post was worthy rather than no blog post at the time. Now it is like, get targeted, get specific. What is the purpose? Why are you doing it, right? So important. Okay, Celine asks, how do you attract the ideal client if you don't have the portfolio that you think you would be right, that would be right for them yet? So we talk about this all the time. Vignette, 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 okay? If you don't have the big room shots or the multiple room shots in one house, create vignettes in your own home, in friends and family's home, in your client's home, that are out of this world. And listen, Celine, if you have to go to Home Goods and use your amazing designer eye to find things that, when curated together and when put a certain way, look incredible, then do so. If you need to create flat lays with beautiful materials because you don't have any finished projects, do so. I mean, I have seen some flat lays that I would like knock somebody over to like hold and touch. They're so beautiful. You can say a lot with samples. And I'm sure if you have relationships with showrooms or reps, you can borrow samples. You can probably do flat lays and vignetting in a showroom if you are a regular customer and you speak with them and ask really, really nice. So good luck. You can make this happen. Like, you can bring a pillow from that side and a throw, and throw some fabric samples at it and like show how you would pizzazz it up. It's a possibility. Okay. I know who my ideal client is, but I keep saying yes to all the clients. Help. Okay. Welcome to my first 5 years of business. Come one, come all. I will take you. I will survive your nasty personality. I swear I did that. We all do that, right? When we are getting started, we are just trying to get the experiences under our belt. We're hoping that we end up with some gorgeous professional photography. We're hoping that we stumble and fall smack head down into our ideal client avatar. But yes, in the beginning, you are likely to have done or will do the taking of all the jobs, right? But as we get strategic, as we build on those layers, go ahead and get very, very clear on who you prefer to work with, and just go ahead and start that marketing. Even if it's just with words right now, even if it's not yet with portfolio images, that will, I'm telling you, it will start. It will just dig in. There is a way to clarify and market your way to your ideal client. So I know from my personal experience that it is not super fun to take on the red flag laden, nasty clients. They're out there, and they're out there in every industry and every walk of life at every time. Trust your gut is the thing I can say the most about that. In the end of the day, really, really bad clients will cost you more than they are ever worth. So listen to the little voice inside that's saying, they don't feel right, because it is so worth it. Just turn on your intuition, take time, sit in silence. It is so important before you sign a new employee or sign a new client, because it's a long-term relationship, no matter how you slice it. Okay, cocktails, shall we, everyone? Okay, Catalina Interiors asks, what would be a starting point for ideal clients for a starting interior design business? So Catalina, by the way, I love that name. Catalina, here's the deal. You can jump into the market wherever you want to. You do not need to toil at the bottom until you come out and say who you are and where you belong, right? If you don't have the confidence, or you actually don't have the design chops, then I highly suggest that you go work for someone until you feel ready to take on amazing clients. If you have done that work, or you do have the chops, or you have worked for someone and got that backbone of how to run a design project and how to be an interior designer in the real world, then I want you to stop worrying about a benchmark or a threshold before you get to be who you think you're ultimately going to want to be. And I'm going to go back to my favorite example of this. Walmart is not Walmart until it got good at being Walmart and then became Nordstrom or Blooming's or whoever you like. And then when they were Nordstrom and they got really good at that, they graduated to being Gucci. Like, that's not the path. You do not go from Walmart to Nordstrom to Gucci. It's not how it works. Gucci came out swinging as Gucci, and they were going to make it or not. But they were not going to roll around in the discount area, make their way through medium hood, and then come out as Gucci. It's just not how it works. Similarly, Walmart is unfarting believable, insert F-bomb there, at being Walmart. And it's a model that is really, really hard to crack. Discount business models are nearly impossible. Pretty much Walmart and Costco have it down. And they go through phases where they are cutting each other down so far that it ain't pretty even in that scale. But without humongous scale, don't be a coupon. Just don't do it. Okay? So listen to that one more time, you guys. There are design firms that are 2 years old that are kicking butt because they decided to come into the market wherever they felt like coming into the market, and they went balls out. That's what they did. And you can too. There's no like, I kept waiting for someone to say to me, you have it. You're a really good designer. You have an eye for this. You're an incredible project manager. You may now proceed to the next price point. You are now graduating to being worthy. You may now charge what a grown-up adult human with all of your years of experience and your education should charge. Well, let me tell you what, nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to tell you that. No one's going to reach out to you and say all of the things that make you feel like it's your turn to be what you're worth, right? Or sit where you sit in the market. So stop waiting. Permission granted. You can come out the gate and put your aesthetic and put your price point and put the level of client that you want to work with and put the the ideal client that you want to service, you can put that out in your world today, right now. And you might be sitting on your hands for a minute waiting for that ideal client to come in. And you may have to take a few jobs that are not, ta-da, while you're getting there. But don't compromise. Don't come out Walmart and be expecting to be Gucci one day, because this is not like that. There's not someone who's going to sit you down and say, here's a gold watch you've done 10 years where you're now getting promoted. It's not like that here. This is entrepreneur. Like, you got to buckle up those bootstraps, baby, and you're just going to keep on walking. So, okay, that was the soapbox. We're going to drink wine now. Cheers, y'all. Okay. Do we have more to talk about? Should I just curl up in a small ball and take a nap? Thoughts? Cool. Okay. Nope. It's a wrap. That's it. We've left it all on the table, guys. All right. So we do have that initial call talking points, and it's an incredible little, we have been crafting it and perfecting it and turning it into circles and making it just amazing for the last 15 years. So if you want to have our intro call, exactly what we say on our intro call, check it out in the comments. Sarah Harris is commenting away. Sarah Cates. It's Sarah Cates, you guys. Sarah got married like a year ago. She just had her 1-year anniversary. And I'm still calling her Sarah Harris. It's like a nickname, though, at this point. I'm just going to give myself permission. Permission granted again. All right, guys. If you have a minute, as we are wrapping up and drinking our wine, tell me, is there anything of value that you took away from Design Sips today? And what were your little ahas? If you've got them, let's share them, because sharing the wisdom is what this whole community has always been about. Okay. While you're typing, I hope you're all typing. Am I seeing typing? Tell me what's your takeaway. What's your action step? What are you going to do to find that ideal client and put them into your life? Oh, the light just changed. Okay, while you guys are typing away, I'm going to remind you, the standard is opening for enrollment April 21st through April 28th. And we are going to be giving you, the standard is basically the template for the interior design business that I've been running for 15 years. And what it is it's every single thing, every template, every idea, every flat fee calculator, a copy of my design agreement, every single email template. It's the whole kit and caboodle. It's how I run House of Funk. It's all in one place for you. It's easy to download. It is a click to bring all of that wisdom into your business, and then we will walk you through how to get it all done. And it is at theinteriordesignstandard.com. Okay, y'all. Thank you for joining me. In case you were wondering, I'm Sandra Funk. This is Design Sips, where we drink a little wine and talk about the business of interior design. I will see you next week. Bye, y'all. All right, I'm going to stay on for a few minutes because I'm watching all these comments come through. I'm going to take my sip of wine. All right, you guys, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.